Today I'm going to show you how to create and animate an interior like this. It is hands down one of the easiest projects you can tackle as a beginner. To make it even easier, I'm sharing the 3D model link below so you can follow along. All the techniques I'm about to show you work in any 3D software. So let's get started. First things first, we need a plan. You could use photos, but I'm using AI to generate a custom reference. I use Chat LLM for this, which combines all the major AI tools in one place for $10 a month. Inside the new chat, I click Image and use the Nano Banana Pro model with this prompt. Modern minimalist home office corner, warm neutral tones, curved organic armchair, sculpture cloud pendant light, natural wood paneling, horizontal blinds, 3 shadows on wall, cozy atmosphere. I generate 4 images at 1K resolution. We now have a clear direction. The warm tones and the 3 shadows give the direction for the rest of the project. With reference in hand, pin your image to the side and start blocking out the room. Keep your walls, ceilings and floors at 20 cm thickness. Render engines calculate light bounces physically. If your walls are paper thin, light will often bleed through the corners. Thick geometry acts as a proper light blocker. And if you are using Lumion like me, for the window glass, keep it as a single plane to avoid refraction errors. Also, leave a tiny gap, just a few millimeters, between your furniture and the wall. In the real world, objects rarely fuse together. That gap forces the render engine to calculate a dark contact shadow, which grounds your furniture and gives it weight. For the complex assets, the armchair, the laptop, the rug, do not model this yourself. I grabbed mine from libraries like 3D Sky and Poliigon. High-quality models make a big difference in boosting realism. For this video, I'm using Lumion 25, but the concepts are identical in any software. Import your model and set the height between 5 to 10 meters, so it sits slightly raised from the ground. Head to photo mode. We are using a 26mm focal length. 26mm is wide enough to capture the whole room, but tight enough to avoid that cheap fisheye distortion you get with wider lenses. Switch to a 2:3 vertical aspect ratio, like we have on the reference. Now let's position the camera. Do not use the default eye level. Drop it to chest height, around 1.3–1.35 meters. If we stand too high, at 1.6 meters, we see too much floor. If we sit too low at 1.1 meters, the furniture blocks our view of the desk items. With chest height, we feel grounded in the room, but we can still clearly see the layout and the decor of the surfaces. Now, the background. Don't leave an empty horizon. Add a curved plane outside the window. The easiest way to model this is by just adding a standard cylinder. Delete the top and bottom caps and cut it in half. This wraps the image around the camera fields of view, preventing the horizon line from distorting or looking flat at the edges. Back in Chat LLM, use a prompt like European City Skyline Overcast. If you want to be precise, grab coordinates from Google Maps, from Prague for example, and tell the AI, create a skyline view from these coordinates, and paste the coordinates, 10th floor, overcast. With the background set, it's time to nail the lighting. Add the retracing effect. Your computer fans might start sounding like a jet engine preparing for takeoff. That is just the sound of quality, no worries. Just by adding this, you see a huge jump in quality. It simulates realistic light bounces and shadows, picking up the color of the floor and filling the dark corners naturally. Add 2-point perspective to keep your vertical line straight. For color correction, make it slightly warmer, add contrast, and reduce saturation. Raw renders are mathematical perfect, which often makes colors look toothy or oversaturated. Now, we need the sky to illuminate the scene. I'm using a real skies effect with an HDRI from Poliigon called Farm Field Pure Sky. So, first things first, we need to fix a problem, the terrain texture. Change the default green grass to a neutral pebble gray. With ray tracing, light bounces off the ground and carries that color into your room. Gray bounces natural light, keeping your interior colors pure. Now, if you want to learn how to generate your own PBR materials with AI, I've got a video for that and I'll link it above. But we are sticking to ready-made PBR textures from Poliigon, because real materials have imperfections, scratches, smudges, and even roughness. These micro details are what sell the realism. So, for the wood, I'll be using this oak wood veneer texture. Click the wall surface and on the material properties, load the color map on the texture. Now we need to adjust the scaling. On the side, we see it says the size is 2 meters. So let's add that to the map scale as well, since Lumion uses meters too. The normal map on the relief. Here you need to click the 3 vertical dots next to the map, and click to invert the normal map. Always do this from normal map textures from the Poliigon website. Next, the roughness. Here load the gloss map, which is the same thing as roughness, only inverted. And finally, load the reflection onto the specular. Now let's add a different wood material for the desk. And adjust the textures placement on this one so we have more material variation for higher realism. For the ground, load the concrete material and a plaster one for the ceiling. For the roller shades, you can load any fabric material you like from the Lumion library and adjust the opacity and subsurface scattering to let more light inside the room. Now let's finalize the render effects. Add a sun effect to push a bit of directional light into the room. And here's a pro tip. Place trees just outside the camera view, near the window. Without trees, your sunlight is a boring, flat rectangle on the wall. By filtering it through leaves, we get soft, dappled shadows. This organic chaos breaks up the perfect digital straight lines and makes the scene feel alive. To render this properly, crank the samples on the ray tracing effect up to 512. Low samples means fast renders, but lots of noise. High samples means you can go make a coffee while it renders, but the light calculation will be accurate. Set bounces to 8. A bounce is how many times a ray of light hits a surface before it dies. In a deep room like this, light needs to bounce 6, 7 or 8 times to reach the back corners. If you leave this low, your corners will look unnaturally dark. Now activate the denoiser to clean up any leftover grain and hit render at 1920p. And as a bonus, the evening look. Don't overthink it. Swap the real sky to a sunset sky. We are moving from daylight to blue hour, which has cool blue tones. Add a point light inside a cloud lamp, warm it up to 3000 Kelvin. This creates a classic cold, warm contrast. Blue light coming in from the window, orange light from the lamp. That color friction is what makes evening shots look so cozy. Now take the render into Photoshop and open the camera raw filter. I hit auto to establish a baseline. Then use the curves tool and add a slight S-curve. This pushes the shadows down and lifts the highlights, giving more punch to the image. Save the image and head back to Shot LLM. Go to Image and select Magnific AI. Upload your image, select 2 times and set creativity to 4. This will give extra details, especially to the chair and rug. Now bring the upscale result back into Photoshop. Now we add the imperfections. You must do this after the upscale. Always upscale from a clean image first. So let's simulate a physical camera lens by breaking the image. Add lens distortion with a value of -1. Real lenses aren't perfectly flat. Add a vignetting to darken the corners to guide the eye to the center. Also add a chromatic aberration. This simulates the lens glass falling to focus light perfectly, adding slight color fringing on the edges. And lastly, add grain, the digital sensor noise that ties it all together. Finally, let's animate this. Back to Shot LLM, click these 3 dots, and then click Video Gen and select Kling AI 2.5. Upload the image and for the prompt, camera dolly in with trees moving in the background. Set duration to 5 seconds and hit Generate. AI handles this type of subtle motion incredibly well. Now let's create a time-lapse. So just select Kling AI 2.5 because it has start and end frame. And just upload the day and night images, and for the prompt, create a time-lapse from day to evening. After following these steps, you should have a render animation that looks like this. And don't forget to check out Chat LLM. They have all the AI models in just one place for only $10 a month. And also, don't forget to grab the 3D model link below so you can follow along. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.